join in soon. Alright, I guess I'll get started. So, welcome. This is the 2016 GX review where we will talk about, some of the news that happened, any of the developments made with all three ladders. This is AKC12. If you guys want to introduce yourselves quickly, you guys can go ahead.
I'm Chilledberry.
I'm 516.
And I guess that's all we have for now.
Alright. Change out the layout a bit.
I'm mobile, I'm here.
Alright, so I guess to get started, I guess we could talk about some of the speedrunning events that GX was and was not part of.
Sure.
I guess just to get it out of the way, no F-Zero of any kind in any GDQ 16 or 17, at least the first AGDQ event in 2017. Who knows what they're thinking? Maybe they only accept CGN runs from now on because the rest of us aren't skilled enough.
Problem is, they did accept Z-Wing in 2015.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they had you guys.
I remember you were in that one.
Oh yeah, we made the first cut, yeah. But then we all decided to drop out because of reasons.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh well. I know that what's his name with Chiha was going for one-handed as well.
Yeah, but they didn't accept it for some reason.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm not sure which event happened first, but I think it was NASA, which Niglarian and I took part in that complete shit show. Basically, the internet was bad and the second TV didn't work, so we ended up doing multiplayer, where I pretty much teabagged him, killed him a few times, laid a few hits on him. I don't know, it was all in good fun.
Yeah, you admittedly bodied him over that quick star over Fat Shark click. Really, that's just it.
I don't think he practiced at all. Well, I did some practice. He had just freaking 6 flags for like a whole day too. And he rescheduled my run because he wanted to go to Six Flags, so whatever.
Oh wow.
And then there was the F-Zero Central Marathon that took place somewhere in Europe. I think it was Germany. So that was pretty fun. I took part in one of the speed runs, I think all tracks. I did okay, I think.
Didn't Sanic do a run too?
Yeah, Sanic did 2 snaking runs. He did story mode and all tracks versus Forever 4258.
Right, that's right.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet to watch. A bunch of events for every or most games.
Well, actually, that one was the entire cast of the entire cast of F-Zero in general was the marathon. Like, I think that's the only other event that has had every F-Zero game, including the BS F-Zero games and AX, as well as even the GP Legend e-reader card stuff.
Oh, really?
Wow, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I don't think the first online marathon had those, so yeah. And yeah, there were tournaments too, which I would have loved to take part of, or maybe next year there'll be a speed run tournament, which would be cool.
Oh yeah.
That would be interesting to see.
Yeah, sort of like what the GDQ is doing with certain speed games like Mega Man and Castlevania. Maybe that's something we can do in the future.
All we gotta do is get enough runners.
Yep. And then I know E-Dragon did a story mode speed run for, maybe it was ESA.
Oh yeah, I
yeah,
think that was ESA.
he did one for ESA, and he also did one to open up the F-Zero Central Marathon as well.
Right.
That's right.
And if you guys haven't watched it, it was pretty much a perfect, clean run. He
Yeah.
didn't shift boost spam, but still, it was only seconds off his already impressive personal best. So huge props to He-Dragon for that.
Right.
Especially who he doesn't really play the game anymore, so he knocks off that rust pretty quickly.
Yeah, it just shows how much he's like used to play and how like consistent he can still be, even after not playing for a long time. It's pretty impressive.
Certainly, yep.
I mean,
And
hey, that's just
then,
how it works.
and I know Sanic took part in the pre-NASA online event with his pretty entertaining run. Going for that suicide and drift highway and making it actually, that's definitely
Right.
the highlight of the run.
Wasn't there another thing that he did too?
Yeah, there was
Oh yeah,
another online marathon. I just don't remember which
Yeah,
one.
well he
I don't
did
remember
Kirby
either.
Air Ride right after, so like at like 4 a.m. So GG. All right, so I guess I'll list off. Well, I'll give a summary of what happened with max speed during 2016. There were 8 new world records. Um, I I'll list them off in no particular order. There's Twist Road just a few days before the New Year's with the return of the legendary JKL loser, which we'll certainly
Ooh.
talk more about soon. And then there's Surface Slide. Sanic had the world record in 15 and CGN broke it again. Um, and then there was, of course, Multiplex with those new high-level strats. And then Drift Highway had a minor update with the MTS into shift boost starts. And then the return of Brave, breaking the Serial Gaps world record somewhat randomly.
Yeah.
With side
With
attacks,
side
of
attacks.
course.
That's crazy. He like just started. Well, I want to say he just started learning it, but he started practicing it, and then not too shortly after, he beats the world record by quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm sure he dabbles
Yes.
It's
with
crazy.
side attacks
Yeah.
when he's not streaming or whatever, or for fun. But still, it was quite
It's
impressive. I mean,
yeah.
Serial Gaps, it's only needed an update. There was not a super clean run of it, and
Yeah.
with the suicide too, which
Yeah, that too.
we'll
That's
get
Yeah.
into.
ridiculous.
Yeah, for the longest time, that was the freest world record on the board for max speed.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, just a suicide could save so much time, and it sure did.
Yep.
I think that's 4 of them so far. Next down the list is Double Branches by Super Sanic. Incredible run right there. Then it's Ordeal by first Super Sanic, then CGN. Poor Super Sanic.
Yeah, they had a battle on that one. That one was fun to watch each person update the record each time.
And no new world records in Diamond Cup, but sadly for me, both of mine were taken by the the top players, and Screwdrive and Spiral.
And in ironic fashion, we predicted this. I mean, we predicted Spiral's outcome last year.
Oh yeah,
Oh, that's right.
if hopefully After Dawn isn't watching right now, but yeah, he was right. I was wrong. I sorely underestimated the power of MTS intro shift boost when I really shouldn't have, with all of my experience. But it's a good thing that this game surprises me still. And in terms of total time saved, I calculated it was about. Let me double check. About 15, close to 15 seconds saved, down to around 30 minutes, 18 seconds, point 9. It might be a bit off, but we're getting pretty close to that sub
Nice.
38 feet, which would be huge because
That's really good.
it would still be very difficult, in my opinion, after a quick glance. And
Yeah.
speaking of, anybody want to comment on that? Yeah, it's certainly something that isn't shown on the ladder. I keep a spreadsheet, and yeah, back in 2014, or at the end of 2014, was still over 39 minutes. So we've certainly made some progress over the years for and for such an old game. That's pretty neat. And I guess I'll get down to snaking, which
Ooh,
had a
snaking was
lot of
good.
activity this year by the top tier guys, CGN and Battlestream. There were actually 10 new world records for that. I think most,
Yeah.
well, evenly by CGN and Battlestream. There was Multiplex, which was a massive improvement if I remember correctly.
Tons of
And
seconds saved up right there.
and then there is Drift High, which I believe also incorporated the shift boost starts.
Yeah, that MTSI be witchcraft as CGN coined it, and I don't blame him. That honestly looks like it was stupid to do.
Oh yeah, I think in his description he was still not totally pleased with his time. I'm sure he
Sounds
tried it
about
for
right.
at least 50 hours or so, or something like that. I don't know.
Well, hey, at least he got faster boost laps than the space flying record.
Yep, down with
Okay.
space flying. Not kidding. Aero Dive also got an update by Battlestream. CGN beat it back in 15, but Battlestream took it back. Then there was Mobius Ring as well. But Mobius Ring didn't get a new world record in. Oh, I guess not for max speed. Let's see. There's Cylinder Knot. Always crazy to snake on those cylinder tracks. Intersection Ordeal as well by Battlestream. Trident by Battlestream, which uses less shift boost, I believe, but he's the best snaker, like in terms of optimizing his strides. And last one was Thunder Road, which I thought happened last year, but I guess not. But yeah, that was
Wait,
an
wasn't there also
amazing
cylinder?
run.
Wasn't there also cylinder wave? I could have
Yeah.
sworn that was this
Yeah,
year as
yeah, I
well.
skipped that. I somehow skipped that. Yeah, that was an incredibly clean and optimal run, in my opinion.
I really love the Thunder Road snaking record.
Oh,
That one is just amazing. It looks
it's
almost flawless.
it's definitely in my top 10 list if I were to make one, for sure.
Yeah.
And as for space flying, I know there are some guys who are still active. I I really don't know his name, unfortunately. Shame on me. There was
I
one
think
in
there
Midtown,
was 2 records taken by Richard Taro this year. I know that
Richard
much.
Tower. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There was one in Dragon Slopes. Not sure how much he beat it by. I imagine it wasn't by much. And from this list, I'm saying unless it's outdated, there is no other. Although Richard Tower was certainly active throughout the year.
Yep.
And I guess we could talk about laps as well, fast laps.
All right. Yeah. Pretty good amount of fast laps this year too.
And
Yep.
Hardbanger took a record in a fast lap.
Oh yeah, that's definitely one of the main
Okay.
topics. Let's talk. Yeah, just yeah, it's kind of hard to believe that that actually happened, but it did. I I'll certainly say that the booster is certainly the ideal choice for this course. A lot of shift boost and speed retention is much more important in Trident.
Right.
It doesn't seem like it has any use for 3 lap runs, but it's great to see a different booster sort of break through in max speed. And yeah, that apparently was quite the difficult run through, dealing with going too fast at certain parts.
Definitely.
Although it's it, although using the maximum star cockpit probably would have been better, but hard banger, man.
Better
Yeah.
for the memes.
And that was a 28.3, which I think is just a few tenths faster than CGN's split from his world record, which I think is also his personal best. Starting from the top, we again JKL loser with a 9.3 in Twist Road.
Taking
With
out
the
Foxy with that one, which is pretty damn impressive. Like,
yep,
I didn't expect anyone to take out that record except for JKL, because honestly, he's the one guy I would see taking out that sort of a record. Like, especially on Twist Road, because honestly, it's no surprise that if he came back, he was going to take the Twist Road record and just basically overhaul it with TS chaining, which he did in fact do. And yeah, it just brought us 2 new records on the
yeah,
same track.
yep. I did not see this coming at all. Who knew that doing a side attack at the end of an MTS would lead to getting double, triple shift boosts much more easily, which I was able to incorporate without too much difficulty. So it's certainly going to be used more in 2017. And then Sanic had he had some incredible fast laps this year. The first one of which was in multiplex with that insanely fast suicide finish,
Oh yeah.
27.4, which is a whole 9 tenths faster than Brave's last lap in his world record. And then there was serial gaps also by Brave. Just a clean fast lap with a pretty good suicide.
That dive was super duper good too.
Yeah, I don't think he hit the ground when he hit that jump plate,
No,
which is
he just went. It looks like he just went right into the jump plate, and it looked like he was like still kind of diving, but not really. It it just looks really weird, those type of dives.
it is incredibly precise to get just the right height to do that. I only
Yeah.
got it a few times, and apparently CGN does it all 2 or 3 laps in his snaking world record. So yeah.
Yeah.
Then there's Double Branches by Sanic, of course. Just a really man, the speed he gets after those 6 or whatever shift boosts is just crazy. I don't know how he manages to avoid those walls
Yeah.
going that fast. And then another crazy man, Ordeal by Super Saiyan. That one is also crazy. CGN just waved the white flag after he tried it for a bit.
Oh yeah, I still remember looking through his Twitter and seeing just the frustration from the failures. Like that one where he flipped around halfway and it just stopped him completely. That was just stupid to see. And again, that's GX in a nutshell in some cases.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sounds about right.
some dank shit, yeah, happening. Then there's Screwdrive by Super Saiyan getting, you know, with his he altered the start a bit, starting the MTS earlier was pretty clever, and going for an additional shift boost before the suicide. And then there's again Spyro, CGN. Yeah, those getting those high speeds from those shift boosts is definitely makes Gallant the top machine on that course.
Yep.
And I'll talk about some of the notable news of 4GX. I guess I'll start with Battlestream becoming the top player for the Snaking Ladder again.
Mhm.
That battle never ends, it seems. Well, and it seems CGN is playing again after his long break. I'm not sure if he's going to focus more on one or the other. But yeah, we'll see if Battlestream remains the king or if CGN will fight back.
Yeah. I feel like Battlestream still has a lot of records he still wants to improve too.
Like what?
Not sure, but since his amount of activity has significantly increased, I think he's gonna keep wanting to do a lot more, especially if CGN keeps continue snaking.
Yeah, certainly.
There's a lot of decently old records in the snaking ladder. Most notably, Mad Andy's MCSO in 2005.
Oh my
That's been pretty
gosh.
much
That
untouched.
record needs to get taken out soon. I swear I almost like I'm still impressed by it, but I've just had it up to here seeing it there for so long.
Yeah, they don't
Oh
even
my
have
gosh.
the recorded day of the month because that's how
Dear
long ago it
Lord.
was.
Oh my gosh, kill me. That makes me feel
As an old school player,
Nick
I
just
don't mind
uploaded
if
with
it
the original
stays.
audio.
I mean, that just shows how good it is.
The other big news is, of course, Brave announcing that he's going to use side attacks, which is something I sort of speculated on a while ago because his times are pretty much maxed out in most of the courses. And I was wondering, maybe he'll want to try to take the top spot. And it seems that's his intention now.
Yeah, that's actually pretty crazy. I still hope that he continues to do non-side attack runs because I really, really love his play style. It's just super clean, and I think the reason why that is because he doesn't use side attacks, as with most other Japanese players. So I hope that he continues to do both side attack and non-side attack.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly think some more can be done in Surface Slide with Gallant and
Mm-hmm.
maybe a couple other courses. Maybe.
Ordeal could be improved.
Oh yeah, certainly Ordeal with that new strafe shift boost.
Right.
And some of his runs aren't perfected, but it's already so difficult with the starts he's using.
Yeah. I think his non-side attack times, a lot of it has to do with his like really good openers. I feel like he finds a way to just improve a lot of time just from the openers. And it's like sometimes he can't really do much without side attacks, but he kind of like takes it to the next level somehow with like some random shift boosts.
Yeah, and even the opener, he goes for more edge boost plates than every one of us, most notably in Sonic Oval. I don't know how he's able to get them often enough. I just don't know how.
Yeah, the basics are just probably the best out of everybody.
And it's still unclear if he's going to use Quick Star, although if he doesn't, then that's not a big blow to his chances of overtaking CGN. I mean, well,
Yeah,
CGN himself only uses it in Screwdrive, so yeah.
that's true.
He's certainly going to use Black Bullet, seems, so it'll be fun to see how he does with the MTS chaining. Haven't
Right.
seen much of that from him yet. He's probably still getting used to it if he hasn't really learned it yet.
Yeah.
And then, as far as max speed is concerned, I don't know about snaking or space flying, but hey, welcome back, JKL. It's been a while.
Welcome back.
If you guys don't know, he was formerly the top player back in, I don't know, 04, 05 before Iowa, and then a couple other players overtook him. And he's certainly a master with Quick Star, Quick Cannon. And yeah, I don't know what your goals are, but it'll be great to see you shake up the top 3 somehow. Top 4 actually. And yeah, and it only took your return to update the Twist Road record. But yeah. Were there any other big news for GX or F-Zero in general, perhaps?
JKL had the BBDH lap record.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was something that was not updated, so... And that's something I should have remembered. Yep, but then Super Sonic took it.
An hour
Yeah, he
later.
claims that you can get about 2,500 from the shift boost, probably with the side attacks I would think. So it would be pretty interesting to see a run like that if it's feasible. Beating Iowa, huh?
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that CGN first player to sub 39 minutes. Congrats.
Oh yeah. Congrats, CGN. Sub 39 is pretty ridiculous.
It is. You need to be a master of shift boosting to get to that point, which is something I'm not, so oh well.
He certainly seems like it. I mean, that's a lot of what he does in his runs, I think. Just shift boosting a lot.
And I don't know what Super Sonic's total time was, but now he's number 2, sub 40 minutes. So, yeah, he's definitely a top tier player
club
right now. And Z-Wing is not here right now, but he recently subbed 42 minutes after playing on and off throughout the year with his improvements in... I think it's mainly...
Oh, yeah. Let's see. What rank is Z-Wing right now on the max speed ladder?
He's 8th right now.
8th?
Yep.
Nice. Okay. So still maintaining his top 10.
And I'll definitely mention that, you know, the level of activity in GX has definitely been sustained at the very least, and there's plenty of new players too, which is always exciting.
Oh yeah, we have a lot. We had a lot this year.
Yeah, I did
a
a
lot.
I did a quick run through the ladder. There's probably at least 20 players who updated their times, and many of them did so recently. So.
I think it was over 30 players. I checked a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was 30 and just the max speed ladder alone. Oh yeah, and you know, with the with the spreadsheet, the staff ghost thing, we're at 999 staff ghosts beaten, and we couldn't do it before the end of the year, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think everyone was trying for, or not everyone, but a couple people were trying for MCSO with Blue Falcon, trying tirelessly to get the suicide finish with Blue Falcon.
I tried it for an hour before I just said fuck this.
Yeah, it
not
seems incredibly difficult.
I tried a few other machines,
Somebody needs to tool assist it.
their chances aren't as good as well.
Yeah. Speaking of the spreadsheet, Matthew did a lot of work with Cylinder Knot, with a lot of the lesser tier machines as well.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that he has pretty much perfected the start and how to get all those shift boosts. And he's also been somewhat active with the max speed ladder too.
Right.
He recently came back from a big break. Don't know if he's in one right now. But yeah, I think at this point we really don't care who gets the 1000th staff ghost. I'll experiment a bit with Twist Road and maybe Split Oval, but it's not going to be easy. And it really is a huge accomplishment to get to this point. A lot of incredibly high level runs had to be done to beat some of those staff ghosts.
Right.
And oh yeah, story mode, new world record in normal mode, um, story mode by, I believe WMJ.
Yeah,
He
that,
is yeah, he's incredibly talented with all shift boosts, and he's quite consistent too. It seems.
Wasn't that Daniel?
Oh, Daniel, yeah. I'm not the best person for that stuff. So, what was his time? And how much did he beat it by? Does anyone know?
um, he's at a 29-1 on chapter 2, hard mode.
All right, he's he didn't get the world record in there yet, but I'm talking about the speed run for doing all of the normal chapters.
Oh, right. Sorry. I
I'll
don't
I'll
remember.
look
I
at
did see it though.
story mode. So Super Sonic had the world record with a 1949, and it's not in speedrun.com just yet, so I'll look it up.
Daniel also put a 117 up on YouTube for FOLS Battleship. Not on the ladder yet though.
I really want to get the time. Can't seem to find it right away. His YouTube name is just Daniel, right?
No. I don't quite remember what it is though, off the top of my head.
I have
I'm
no
trying to see if I
idea.
can find it.
I thought I subscribed to him recently, but I'm having trouble finding that too. I'll certainly try to
Oh, I think I
remember.
found it. I'll link it in the Discord. I think this is it.
Probably is.
Yeah.
So you beat it by 11 seconds? Yeah, that's quite.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, you beat it pretty handedly right there. Certainly a lot left to do with speed running, but you know it's so fucking hard.
Yeah, especially in longer runs with in story mode. There's a lot that can go wrong.
Yeah, Sanic has been trying, but he's still unsuccessful with getting a clean um, staff ghost run for all
Oh
tracks.
yeah. Especially that. That's like over an hour.
Five, you want to talk about AX?
Yeah. This year most of the year I was doing on the side of GX I was doing AX, and I basically went through and did a whole lot of research and went and found a lot of things like I figured out and confirmed that all of the world records on the old F-Zero AX internet rankings ladder are all legit, because all of the strategies the machines they used corresponded to strats that I found for the confirmation of space flying working in AX. And as a result of that, I also took a world record in was it in GPS within AX.
Mm-hmm.
And also with that, I also got AX onto speedruns.com. So yeah, that's another thing that happened as well.
Oh, cool.
All right. I didn't know that. That's nice.
Is Dolphin well, there's no other way to play other than Dolphin, I would presume, so... Well, there's a cheat code.
The only way we have right now, other than the actual machines, is Nintendo. Same way that Yoshi Fan was playing last year. And we also found out that apparently a recent update to Dolphin allows us to use Nintendo on Dolphin. So that means that AX tasking as well as RAM watch could become a thing this year, and could confirm a lot of things that I've been wanting to know about that.
Oh, that wasn't a dolphin update, I think. Some anti-dolphin stuff in the homeroom channel got taken out, so it works in dolphin.
Oh,
Here we
oh well
go.
then. Yeah, but either way, that still means that AX tasking as well as RAM watch is still going to become a thing in the future. And then also, I should also mention this. I went through and also tested out the beta tracks, the GX tracks that are within AX, and found out that all of the space flying strats so far can be applied to AX as long as you can get off the tracks in the same locations as the checkpoints within GX's strats. Which means that it makes it possible to apply lots of strats from GX into AX as far as space flying.
Very cool. And by the way, the videos that I'm showing, those are all from 2016. So you guys can see what has been done this year. Any world record runs or any notable or special runs or videos from the year. Thank you, Fi, and I believe Sanic also contributed with compiling that. I wanted to do that,
Yeah,
but
thank you
yeah,
guys.
it was. I appreciate taking out some of the workload with organizing this.
Yeah, no problem. It's all part of it. All kind of was like sprang from me also creating was the 5 world record playlists as well, because I did that as well this year, which really kind of just centralized where they are on YouTube. Though as a result, I also had to pull a couple of videos that were not on YouTube and put them in the playlist,
Mm.
such as the Phantom Road max speed record, the was GPS and CPSO snaking records, as well as also Tony Ty's PTCW record in flying.
Yeah, some of the records aren't like recorded on or uploaded on YouTube. So yeah, thanks
Well,
for
they
that
are
too.
now.
Oh, right.
And then also, this kind of segues into something I also want to bring up as well. On the side, I've also been creating an AX ladder, kind of
All
to
right.
replace the old F-Zero AX internet ranking site and allow new people to submit times to not only the 6 tracks in the arcade machine, but also to the beta tracks within the game.
Oh, nice. You got
Yeah,
your
I
own
just
little
figured,
projects, huh?
yeah. Hopefully that'll be like sticky somewhere in F-Zero Central soon. It's probably not possible at this point to integrate it into the actual website, but
well, I'm glad to help with that right now, like with the managing the spreadsheet as I have it right now. Though it's not entirely done just yet, because the only tracks I have completely filled in are Screwdrive, Sonic Oval, and Spiral. And that is really coming along quickly, but I also have the issue of trying to figure out lap counts for the GX beta tracks, because um, when you use the codes to access them within the game, it causes the game to put you into an entire race with 128 laps. So yeah,
I see.
and that's most of what happened this year as far as AX. Though I definitely know there's going to be a lot more I want to do this year as well. Because I feel I can take out the Screwdrive record as well as also the Cylinder Wave record.
Do they both involve space flying?
Screwdrive is sort of a mixed one because I found a strat halfway in the year that can be applied to basically every track, and it's kind of strange, but it's interesting to see what happens. It's basically where you fly off the track at a certain checkpoint, and then you go to another checkpoint location, and if you fly in the right path, the respawn will actually cause you to count a lap. And on Screwdrive, it allows you to get half laps, which allow for times as fast as 9 seconds.
Hmm.
So basically, if I can get that, then it'll lead to quite a bit more, honestly. And I think it all starts from from Spiral, because that was where it all started, in all honesty.
Yeah, we don't see too much of AX ever, other than the really old videos that the Japanese players did from the actual arcade cabinet. So it'd be great to see if you can pull it off.
Yeah, and then there's also stuff I'm working on the side with Cosmo Courtney to try and access the other custom machine parts that we normally can't access, such as the Mars EX booster, which is the most optimal booster in the game.
Yeah, for T drifting, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I guess what I want to talk about next is like the development of, you know, um, the meta of F-Zero GX Max Speed, as you would call it, I guess. And yeah, I guess the first major development is, with the rise of the strafing shift boost, where you sort of
Right.
strafe to the left or right during a corkscrew or over a hump to get a shift boost. I guess it sort of started in Twist Road, where I sort of accidentally discovered the strafing one at the end of the lap. But ever since then, this year especially, it's been applied more and more. First in Ordeal and that CGN first came up with, or maybe Super Sonic did as well. I don't remember.
Oh, the one at the end of the lap.
Yeah, instead of going for that risky MTS side attacks exit, where you can probably get a really good shift boost, but you might fall off or hit the wall easily. And then I know there was one in Meteor Stream, which,
Oh, that was
Yeah,
Sanix.
Yeah, that was Sanix. And also, I want to mention in that run, I feel like that could world record if he had the super suicide. That's just one thing I've just noticed. Like, honestly,
Yeah, he was
that's
at a
really how
1.6 or a 1.7 or something.
I think it was a low 106.1 or something. So
Yeah.
with a suicide, he can certainly world record. It's certainly one of the tracks that can potentially be world record in 2017.
the only question is, will he go for it?
Exactly.
It depends on how much he wants to cry about the super suicide.
And I guess I should also mention the pipe shift boost in Spiral. With both Gallant and Quickstar, we've been finding a bunch of different ways, honestly, of getting it. So that can certainly, well, with that CGN world record, which is probably not going to be beat anytime soon. It might not matter, but for anybody improving their times there, that's a free half second, maybe a full second if you can get it consistently. With Gallant, especially. Well, with Gallant, it would be certainly more than a second.
Yep.
And were there any other courses with strafing shift boost? I thought there was. I mean, it's certainly possible in other courses like Mobius Ring, but it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of tricky or tough to do consistently.
Or well, there was one with snaking on Mobius Ring.
Oh,
Or well, or was that strafing? Or
I don't.
was that just
I don't
random
remember if it
reaction?
was just strafing, but
Yeah, that's the problem. I don't remember if it is or not. It's really hard to tell though,
Yeah,
because
that
it's
was on the lap one.
so quick. If you blink and you miss it.
Yeah, we covered all the major ones for sure. And then there's the whole exiting an MTS with a side attack to get crazy shift boosts. I know before JKL came back, Z-Wing and I did so at the start of lap 2 to get that shift boost more easily, but that was the only purpose we used it for, just to get it, not to get insane speeds from it.
Right.
And I don't know if you linked the JKL's lap record. Let me try to show
I
that.
did
Just
put it
to
in the playlist, I'm pretty sure. It should be
okay.
very early on in the playlist. So,
I
yeah.
think I randomized it, but let me find it and show it, and you'll see the power of side attacks that beat a really old record. It's really small. I'll put it back in order. And I'll turn up the volume. So he does a side attack here, and then another one there, and boom, 3,000.
Jeez.
I know, right?
Oh god.
Yeah. I'm amazed we
God.
didn't look into that further sooner.
I know, right? And since then, I've sort of been messing around with it. I found a use for it, a small use in Spiral for one of the possible shift boosts there, where it certainly made. I still can't get it 100%, but it made it a lot more consistent. Once I find the proper amount of speed, I certainly do want to update my time there with Quickstar eventually, and that will help a lot.
Oh, jeez.
And imagine if it's a thing with Gallant as well.
Yeah, Gallant really showed up on
No legs
Spiral.
always uses a side attack to get the shift boost. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of. I think it might have some use in Thunder Road as well. We'll have to see. Maybe CGN knows something
I
about
would
that.
not be surprised if it would be like possible to get a stronger shift boost on the snaking refiller towards the end.
Oh,
The one
with
that
the
snakes
bumpy
left
road.
and right. Yeah.
Right.
In lap 1, maybe, yeah.
Yeah. I think a lot of people used to just like try doing that too. I know I used to do that, trying to get shift boost before I learned the 2 MTS into shift boost before that part. But it does help sometimes if you don't get the 2 MTS into shift boosts.
Yeah, but those are mostly lottery ones. Like, it's just the ones that you go for when you miss prior shift boosts, though.
Right.
But I wouldn't be surprised if it would be helpful in a task. Like, seriously, just throw everything out the window at that point.
Yeah.
And I know CGN and Surface Slide sort of used a side attack at the end to help get a shift boost there. It's quite the unique case, but still, it's very interesting to see that.
Yeah.
And another thing, well, it's not really a new application, but there's the question of how, if you know the difference between drift turn exits and sided turn and quick turn exits when MTS chaining. Maybe there are some questions about whether quick turn exits is faster throughout a lap. We really haven't gotten any confirmation, but I know JKL only does that in Twist Road, and is perhaps the reason why he's able to get the low 19, high 18 lap ones much more often than I can. That's something certainly that needs some tool assistance to figure out,
Definitely.
which hasn't been done much recently because it's just Niglaria and maybe Yoshi Fan, and they're doing their own things, and I haven't bothered figuring that stuff out yet.
Well, don't forget that Sanic also has the ability of tasking as well as also CGN. So
Oh yeah,
it's not like we
maybe,
can go to them to ask to figure out this sort of stuff, but it's just good knowing that they can.
right.
Yes.
And yeah, that's the new developments in general with machine technique in general. I guess I'll go over some of the new starts and whatnot. Um, of course, there's the serial gap suicide, which surprisingly isn't that difficult, it seems, even though I haven't tried it yet. Just
Right.
need to get enough speed and a good MTS and get a good enough angle. I don't know how precise the angle has to be, but yeah, I look forward to trying that eventually.
Yeah. I know that's for sure in the snaking record, and I think Radicor popularized it in max speed, if I remember correctly.
He might have been the first to get a PB with it.
Yeah, max speed. Yeah, and then after that, a lot of other players started doing it. After Don has it in his Fat Shark non-custom world record there,
Yep.
and is now in the max speed world record at Brave set recently.
Mm-hmm.
Saves a lot of time.
And then there's Ordeal. There's a bunch of stuff going on there. I think, other than the optimization of going through those series of jumps after the first refiller really quickly, which seems pretty hard to do. Um, with the Boost MT knowledge, now somewhat standard. There's that big dive into a Boost MT landing, which saves a whole lot of time compared to that outdated world record. And then, of course, that shifting shift boost we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't imagine it can be brought down to sub 150 sometime last year, so.
Yeah. And also that weird rail slide at the end of the lap
Oh,
on the
yeah,
skinny part that CGN does. That's so weird. I have no idea how that even works, man.
I didn't
It's
expect that, but considering that you can get extra speed beforehand with the shift boost on lap 1.
yeah, it
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense when you really think about it.
Yeah, very few tracks uses a rail slide during the middle of a run. Bias Ring was possibly one of them before, and
Thunder Road.
Thunder Road, and maybe Twist Road a bit.
Oh yeah, right.
So yeah, that's cool. And of course, Twist Road. I think we talked about this enough. In last year, I started using the shifting shift boost, and now there's the whole side attack exit entry shift boost thing. So.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that improved the world record by 2 seconds already, and it's certainly possible to get a sub 41, I believe, which is, for such a short track, that's insane. And let's see. I definitely do want to mention Black Bull Mobius Ring because that machine certainly potentially can get world record, I think. It'll probably be a lot harder, but still.
It would be amazing to
It's
see.
Yeah, it's very close. It's around 2 seconds right now.
by Super Sonic, I believe.
Yeah.
And
The mid or low 111, I remember last.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's obviously a big advantage with MTS chaining, and it has lower acceleration, but because of that, it can't reach the high speeds from the mines at lap 1, but it might help a bit.
So it can
Eh,
still get the MTS into shift boost on lap 1 though, which is a big help in possibly
Certainly,
getting
yeah.
it.
It just lacks the high-end speed from boosting, which might be its downfall, but yeah, great to see another course where multiple machines can contest for the world record. And let's see. Yeah, I already talked about Hardbanker and Trident. Yeah, just shift boost. I think there's nothing really new with the shift boost starts and for that record. I
Yeah,
wonder if it,
I think its speed retention just helped it a lot to get the F lap,
yep.
pretty much.
I'm trying to think if any developments have been made with the Trident starts, even though it's been a while since the last world record.
I remember in Braves recent Trident, he brought back that one like double shift boost that was done in Mumu and Iowa's start.
At the start of lap 1, right?
Yeah, right at the start. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
there's a
one's
couple of crazy wobble shift boosts at the start too.
yeah.
Which would save maybe a couple seconds, which is quite a lot. And that triple shift boost is just insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
Screwdrive, yeah. Not sure if there's much else we can talk about that, but we forgot to mention that you can certainly use a side attack exit on those shift boosts. So that'll
Right.
be interesting to see. And maybe heavy machines can start competing. Maybe Black Ball.
Mm-hmm.
And Meteor Stream, as we talked about that a bit earlier. Other than the shifting shift boost, Sanic, he lands before the corkscrew ice shift boost, MTS shift boost. He lands with the boost to retain more speed, I guess. And maybe he's still in the boost state when he gets the shift boost, but you cannot get double shift boosts often with that one. And maybe was there anything else mentioning about? No, I guess not.
Just a basic, just run new strats.
No, I was thinking about the MTS into shift boost on that split path. He had trouble, avoiding the walls. I was thinking he did something special with that, but maybe it's just simple positioning stuff. But anyways, then there's Spiral.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, MTS chaining with Scalant is so hard. I think it's super important to side attack really, really quickly, which is something I really can't sustain for a long time.
Yeah, it's really hard to. I will admit it is really hard, but as someone who's just barely getting into learning Gallant, it's getting progressively easier, but yeah, it's still very stiff at points.
Yeah, yeah. Going from side attacks to the next MTS, it's not the easiest thing with Gallant. And of course, you can turbo slide the whole way, but that's considerably slower than MTS chaining, especially with all those boost plates and shift boosts out there. And then there's Dragon Slopes, the pretty cool alteration you guys made with the dive. I don't know who started
Oh,
it,
that
but
was after dawn. I'm pretty sure that was like 100% sure that was after dawn that popularized
It was
that
either
strat.
After Dawn or FSF. It was either After Dawn or FSF. I want to say it was FSF, but it could have been After Dawn.
Oh. I feel like that was after dawn. I thought that was last year though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was last year actually, because I remember that being in both After Dawn's PB with Gallant and his non-custom world record with Black Bolt.
Right. And then I just happened to do it in my PB this year too.
Yeah, I've been
I
trying
also
it.
just used it for my PB.
Yeah.
Who was who?
I
Who
think that was
spoke just
Oval.
now? Ovo. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've been
You
trying it.
didn't run
It's.
into-
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Yeah, I've been trying it out a bit when for practicing for the competition. It's not the easiest thing to get optimal speed from it. I think on lap one you want to land going, I'd say at least 2300, but you gotta do the transition, gotta do the float perfectly to do that, and the float part has to be brief too.
Yeah.
Which isn't a huge issue on boost laps, but on lap one you need to get a good MTS to start off the dive.
I will say though that strat does help with the post dive shift boosts, which
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
never
mention
would have been
that.
able to.
Yeah.
I never would have been able to figure those out if it weren't for that dive strat. Like honestly, I doubt I would be able to even do that without the strat. Like it's just that much speed really helps.
Yeah, I can certainly see in the future top runners doing 3 or maybe even 4 shift boosts after if they land early enough.
Oh dear
But
lord, I've only ever.
that might lead to some complications with the refiller up ahead. So we'll see.
The only problem I could see is people having issues with the ice patch because I will admit that's one of the most difficult things to avoid is flying off on the ice patch while trying to shift directions in MTS. Like I always fly
Yeah,
off the left side trying to keep the speed from the 2 shift boosts I get each time.
it's
Or the
surprisingly
time.
tricky, that section. I'll agree. Yeah. If you aren't in the boost state, you can hit the dirt very easily.
Yeah, and just heaving the dirt while in like a deep NTS will send you flying right off.
And yeah, that's all I have for the new starts. For max speed, I don't think any of us are real snakers to talk about the snaking ones. I mean, there might be some obvious things. Um, Twist Road was last year. That's still
Yeah.
insane. I think the multiplex one in general abused the boost MT more, especially on the dive. I think.
Yeah, and also in that record, I believe the difference from that one and before was that Battle Stream fit in a boost MT right before that last uh, vertical slope.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember.
that saves quite a bit too.
And I think Santa except the yeah, another new star is multiplex and max speed, of course. Yeah, I didn't think it was viable at the time, but the the speed you get from the shift boost changes things, of course. And I know and if anybody's watching Twitch, CGN has been trying out multiplex recently. He's been going
Oh,
for the chicane shift boost on bad
oh
runs,
really?
and he's been
Jeez.
getting it every now and then.
Hilariously, it
Um,
resulted in him getting a 35 opener, which, damn.
Wow, really? Jeez.
Well, it was like just barely a 35, but it's a 35 nonetheless. Like, damn. That's all I can say.
Yeah, the best opener I believe doesn't get that still. There's some degree of luck if you consider it luck with the first MTS into shift boost at the dive, the speed you get from that. But yeah, it'll be quite something if somebody pulls off a world record run with that chicane shift boost.
Oh my gosh. I could see that resulting in a sub 130 for some reason. That would be. Oh my gosh. I'm having a hard time even picturing that happening. Just a sub 130 alone is hard to even picture right now.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
yeah, it would require a perfect run, of course.
Pretty much.
And another thing we could talk about is, with the side attack exit entry shift boost. I wonder if that can be applied for snaking as well, which I don't think it'll be as applicable because you're already going so fast when snaking to get those shift boosts, which normally requires an MTS for max speed. So, although we're not the experts with snaking, unfortunately, so
Yeah, but it
who
looks like
knows?
in snaking generally, typically using a side attack isn't really
Yeah,
like
even
used very much at all.
even in the air, I mean, it certainly can. I'm sure it still saves a bit of time in dragon slopes and maybe arrow dive, but
I'm not sure.
yeah, it's unclear to me as
If
well.
you watch Super Sanix runs, he uses side attacks for snaking on arrow dive.
Oh yeah, that's right. Although I do remember that a while ago when he was streaming that, I think CGN popped in and told him not to use side attacks there, or something to do with the dive. Although that
He
was a
just
while
told him to
ago.
get the dive better.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I don't see side attacks in snaking very much. I think that's because the speed you get just from doing the strides is more than enough, but
Yeah,
I'm not sure. Yeah.
It's mostly moral reasons, I think. There's definitely a place for it, but it's not going to be as dominant or anything.
Yeah, I
Right.
think the only reason that we don't see snaking, at least the world records, using side attacks is because of the rivalry between CGN and Battlestream. And CGN did that out of fairness, though I honestly can't see side attacks being very helpful anyway. Like, after a
yeah,
bit of like experimenting, I could see that was it just the dive speed helps a lot more instead of side attacks. Like, it just gives you so much from the speed that you launch out at, and then you go straight down onto the track. It's just much more helpful for snaking, at least from what I've noticed.
Yeah, I agree.
How long have you been streaming so far? I think we started around 10:20 or so.
Around that.
Yeah, I was just curious. We don't want to drag it out like we did last year.
Yeah,
It was
we
like
had
4 hours.
we had somewhat of reason to drag that one out last year, and at the same time we didn't.
One talk. Does anybody have something to talk about before I bring up the next topic?
Go ahead.
All right. So basically, I want to talk briefly about the resources with F-Zero GX, the guides,
Oh yes, yes, the guides.
any support we can provide to the community
Yeah,
and to new players in general.
yeah. There's a lot of people who have joined the Discord recently and have gotten really good as well. Like, most notably, I can think of is Oval and David, or one David J. Those two got good really quick. And I think they're both
Aw,
in
thank you.
top 100 overall, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. I know Oval has recently subbed 47 minutes, and a couple other newer guys, Intense Quote, who props to him for getting the sub 3 minutes in Spiral,
Yeah,
and
that's
he has a lot of very improvable time still at 48 minutes. So yeah, and
yeah,
then
but he still seems
there's
pretty active anyway, so that's good to see him still
Intense
active.
quotes actually at 46 and a half already.
Wow.
Oh shit!
maybe I misremembered, but yeah, it's still. There's also
No, he updated
Fish.
a minute all at once.
Oh, I know there's also one David J1, I believe. There's also Fish Masterino.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, as we
Kidman's
stated,
Wingler or whatever.
yeah, yep. Yeah, we stated earlier, at least 30 people updating their times for max speed and maybe some at snaking as well. Yeah, I do also want to bring up Yoshi Fan, who's been doing a lot of work with space flying.
Yeah,
Mhm.
recently what he like I'm trying to think the most recent thing he figured out was what was it, Screwdrive, which for the longest time none of us could figure that out entirely. And the last completed run he did doesn't beat a snaking run, but it's still a completed run nonetheless. Like, so he knows what he's doing at this point, for the most part.
Certainly, yeah. But of course, the execution is really tough. It's super precise, it seems.
Yeah, it's a very, very tight window to get that. It's like
Trying to find
stupid
his
tight.
link to his sort of guide and diagram where he has all his diagrams. It's
I
a
think he has
GitHub.
that in a. I think he has that in a link on F-Zero Central as well.
Yeah, I definitely want to link that there. Here's the thread with the links. I know he has a main. Oh, never mind. But yeah, I believe Sanic has dabbled with space flying because of that, most likely. As for me, I don't know, but it'll be like I can barely do the ordeal one. Like I don't even know how. Still, after all this time.
It'd be nice to get more space players though, because that ladder is become bare over the years.
Yep.
I know Z-Wing said he wants to get into space flying too sometime.
True.
I'll admit though, if you want to really get into it, just watch Yoshi fans runs. I figured them out really quickly with them, and also how I figured out the was the stuff in AX as well with the beta treks. That's most of the stuff that I used actually. Like I
Yeah.
never would have been able to figure out Cosmo Terminal without that.
Yeah, having videos is definitely very helpful, especially since a lot of the space flying has been done like years and years ago. So
Yeah,
like
hell,
recent
long
records
ago.
is a lot, very helpful.
Yeah, like the old videos they're just old enough to the point of that people had done space flying on story mode tracks back in the day. Like I went through a trip on YouTube and just found an old channel from an old space flyer named Stefano Marla, I think.
Right. I recognize that name.
And I found a couple of old videos of a lap space flying on chapter 9 and a full 3 laps on chapter 3. As
Wow.
well as also an old 2010 meetup where they had max speed, space flying, and snaking in a tournament. And I think also that same tournament had like, what was it? I think it was Stiff and Crizzle back in the day as well.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I do.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
way back when. Yeah.
Yeah, that's ancient stuff at this point. Still really fun to watch though. Like seeing 4 players snaking, I mean not snaking, space flying in verses, that is just amazing to see.
Yeah, it
Did
reminds me of my
CGN do a
time
snaking
at.
run this year at some fest, right? Oh, sorry.
Was it Stunfest 2015? The snaking run that
I
CGN did?
I think that
Yeah,
was
maybe it was over a
2015.
year ago.
Actually, yeah, it
Yeah.
was last year because I remember you also using that as footage in the 2015 review.
Yeah, I figured. Um, and then there was the F-Zero Central Staff Ghost project that Z-Wing came up with, that sort of has, stalled, but I've been working on getting the descriptions written up. It's basically mini course guides. So basically, we would record a run with a time that's faster than the regular staff goes, but reasonable enough for a player who's been playing GX for perhaps a few months seriously would be able to beat. And yeah, it would basically show off the basic starts, basic proper boosting, quick turning, whatnot. And eventually, I at least would certainly plan to, upload the ghost of it, which I still have all saved. And anybody with Dolphin can download it and then put that to that memory card to race against. Would that be something helpful for newer players, you think?
I
Oh
think
yeah,
it
I think
would be,
definitely.
honestly. Especially if, like, I'm not the best example, but, like, strange way I learn is mimicking. Like, I'll admit, that's just one of the strange way I learn. Is
Oh,
just
that's
by
how I do it
mimicking
too.
Yeah, same. I just looked at a lot, like when I was learning how to play, I looked at like pretty much everyone's videos that were uploaded, and I would just try to do the same thing as they would.
Yep. Yeah, having a video, of course, it's helpful. But there's a severe lack of course guides still.
Yeah,
Like over.
the only ones that I can think of are the ones done by Nigleria to beat to just give an idea of what it is. But some of them are a bit advanced. Like, this was around the time when he was grinding out multiplex, and that run I can't even come damn near close to the one in his video.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the reasons for the Staff Ghost project, is to just
Yeah.
let newer players know like what a good start is to try and like get better times and improve by yourself.
Yeah, I mean, video guides by speaking would probably be a better way of, doing a course guide, but I think it would need to have quite a bit of editing too, and yeah, that takes time and effort, which is why I've preferred to go down the written route, as I did with my XP guide.
Yes, please read that guide, guys. I read it myself, and it's taught me a lot of stuff too, because things that I didn't really keep in mind. Even me being a player that's been around for a while, I've still learned stuff from that guide.
Yeah, and I guess to give you guys a bit of perspective back in the good old days, yeah, really no high level guides. I mean, there were some simple course guides made, but they were pretty brief and not the most detailed. We basically had to learn through experimentation and discussion. I know back then I never learned how to MTS chain properly until 14 or 15. But maybe that's only because of me not willing to ask and being stubborn to not ask. So, but yeah, question. I guess question to the newer players is, you know, how should I word this? Yeah, I guess what's your experience with learning the game, and if there's enough resources, or what else would you like to see in terms of resources, or get what I mean a bit?
Yeah, I can see what you're talking about. I'll admit there is a whole lot of resources out there. Like, I've even rewatched a bunch of the old videos from retired players who had runs that use machines I wanted to try. Like, I saw a few Black Bull PTAD runs, and I figured it out pretty quickly, as well as also by copying Gallant strats, which allowed me to get a decent time, but it doesn't stand up to the time I recently got with Gallant. And yeah, it just shows it was really helpful having lots of videos available, but overall it really just helps with more quantity, it seems, from what I can tell you.
I mean,
And
there's
yeah,
definitely
and
quite a bit of stuff out there.
what
Not
did you
to
say? I
mention there's
didn't.
more. Oh, sorry, my mic's not that great. No, I said there's definitely a lot of resources out there now. I mean, you guys should still keep doing stuff. There's no like quick start tutorials or anything.
Yeah, Quickstar, that is pretty much like a slippery dick at this point. Like, I've been trying to learn it on
Oh yeah, definitely, exactly like
courses
that.
like Drift Highway and Screwdrive, and I just cannot figure it out. I'm always drifting so far out that I hit the right wall on Screwdrive going
You
left.
gotta have the old other shoulder button held down somewhat so you don't hit that wall.
Yeah, I've kind of figured that out slowly, but it doesn't change the fact that figuring out Quickstar after using Black Bull first, it is a pain in the neck.
Yeah,
I
I can
haven't even
imagine.
touched Black Bull. Black Bull looks really hard to use.
It is
It's
tough.
not that hard. It's not that hard for me. I mean, I learned it relatively quickly. But then again,
It's
I
worse than
started
Quickstar.
out. Then again, I did start out with it, and like I did multiple styles before figuring out the one I wanted to stick with, which was side attack. Like, I'm trying to think. I remember mid 2016, I decided I wanted to try and go full non side attack until I figured out
Oh yeah.
that was a terrible idea. But I did still set a few good times. Like, was it my my high 57 twist road non side attack black bolt time? I'm still really happy with that, but I feel I could really improve it after a while. Like, I did eventually beat it, just barely, like in the beginning of this year. So, yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember that.
yeah. It's interesting that one of you guys brought up the point about machine-specific guides, which I really didn't think about. I mean, it's sort of tough because it's more of a feeling thing that you gotta experience, and it's tough to put all of that into words. But in my guide, I try to, whenever it was relevant, I talked about different machines, how it's different between the machines. But yeah, that's certainly something for me and maybe some of us should think about in the future. And yeah, I should also mention the lack of snaking, like a snaking guide too. I mean, there's the one in F-Zero Central that talks about the techniques, but nothing,
Hmm.
in depth. Um,
I wish Manx or somebody would just do one.
yeah, that would be nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
I guess we should mention that he came back to max speed and has been putting videos up on YouTube this year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, wasn't that
Yeah,
because
he's
he had
put a good amount.
it wasn't that because he had surgery at one point again? I mean, jeez, that guy has
Yeah.
surgery every year, I swear, at this point. Like, it's
I have no idea. I didn't know.
he had
Yeah,
it
I think
last year and came back for a brief time, and he did it again this year and came back for a brief time.
yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he did it this year again as well. Like, I, I wouldn't. This becomes a pattern at this point.
Let's just hope he keeps getting surgeries that he has to have then.
Well, as long as it keeps him active, I guess.
All
It's
right.
probably
I
making him
guess
inactive everywhere else, but yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we can start talking about the future, 2017 and onwards. I guess to start out with max speed, what courses do you think are the most that needs the world record improved the most?
Honestly, I can say right now that I can see Z-Wing taking the Port Town cylinder wave record. He knows the course well enough that I can honestly see him doing it.
Hmm.
It's not going to be easy though. Braves
Yeah,
for
it's
gets the
definitely
double shift boost
yeah,
all 3 laps.
it's going to be a grind, but I can still see him taking it. If not this year, then next year.
And boost MT, it might help a little, but not a whole lot, unless you can somehow go like 2,300 plus, if that's even possible. But if not, then it's going to be a challenge. And let me check one thing quickly. When did Z-Wing set that crazy fast lap in Cylinder Wave?
I think that
With
was
Gallon.
That was last year.
year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with
I remember we memed about that one as being the top max speed fast lap.
yeah, but that dumb shift boost at the end, that junction one.
Like, yeah, that one was stupid, but I'm amazed it took it that record.
1 in a million, for sure. We
I
certainly
never
talked.
actually saw that lap. I always wondered why Gallon had the record.
Yeah.
Yep, check it out in the topic, in the world record topic. Meteor Stream, I think that's an obvious one.
Mhm,
That
Definitely.
one easily, like, if it's not gonna be done sooner, then I would be surprised because honestly, not getting a double lap 2 or at least a shift boost lap 2 before the end, I would be damn well surprised if it didn't get updated this year. Especially
Yeah,
after rewatching it again, just seeing how much it could easily be updated.
yeah, 103 is definitely within reach. With at least 1 or 2 doubles, it can definitely go lower. It's probably one of those courses that would surprise us on how low it can go, humanly. So yeah. There's Loop Cross as well. Quite a few things to say about that.
Yeah,
Again, Black Ball versus Quickstar. I think Sanic thinks Quickstar has the edge here.
I can honestly see Quickstar having the edge just a little bit on that one, like with an opener shift boost at the big shift boost section, as well as also a potential shift boost that Snaking uses for the refillers.
Yeah, there
I
hasn't
remember
been any
Aptodon
videos
bringing,
of that yet.
yeah, I remember Aptodon bringing up that idea, though I haven't seen any development from that idea.
Yeah.
It would be theoretically possible, though I can't quite see it coming just yet.
Yeah,
Though I
and this.
can still see Quick taking the record this year, like, or at least updating rather.
Yep, and then there's also the suicide as well.
If
Not
someone
exact.
can actually
There's
make that task suicide viable, oh, dear
Oh yeah.
God, I would shit myself.
sub 130 is definitely
Yeah,
gonna happen.
sub 130 is within reach at this point.
What's the
I'm
task
not even
suicide?
surprised.
I don't know that.
It's basically RS along the wall, and it shoots off into the sky.
Oh,
As
okay.
with all suicides.
I mean, I mean, I'm just guessing where it's at because I mean, I got a really far suicide on LLC once, but it was a worthless run otherwise. I just didn't save the replay.
It's basically after the shift boost on the like the dive shift boost.
Okay, that's what I was kind of thinking. That's further back than I could ever do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a 128 is reasonable. anything low 127 or lower would certainly surprise me.
Yeah.
And then there's Thunder Road as well. I think that
Please.
world.
Please let that be updated.
Yeah.
That record was set in 15. Well, yeah, it just goes to show the high level of difficulty.
Yeah.
With all those shift boosts and whatnot.
You can still CGN can still save a lot of time on that. He misses like 1 or 2 with the MTS and the shift boosts. Yeah.
And with side attacks now,
Yeah.
who knows how fast he
And he doesn't have the suicide either.
Yep. And although I do want to quickly mention Quick Star, with the side attacks, maybe its time can be improved, but not to world record levels.
Right.
Yeah, Quick would be. I couldn't see Quick taking LTR anytime soon, unless, of course, someone finds like a stupid shift boost or a way to strengthen shift boosts with Quick, and that's the only way I could see it possible. But even then, I don't see much of a point at that point.
Right. There's Surface Slide as well. Just optimizing CGN start. Or
Possibly
perhaps getting the
implement-
suicide.
Yeah,
JKL thinks he can do something with Quick Star, which I'll admit with the suicide, anything, it's certainly possible, I would say.
I've actually never seen what that suicide looks like on Sauce, so I'm gonna have to look into some old replays and see if I can find one with that.
I think the Amazing One has one. I think Z-Wing managed one as well.
The problem is
Yeah, like
Z-Wing's runs
Crizzle
are
or Stiff or
unlisted.
somebody has one on Uchiha's channel.
All right, that means I'm gonna have to look for another YouTube expedition.
Sounds
There's
right.
always Twist Road, but I think JKL Loser's motivation at this point is kind of low unless somebody manages to beat it,
Dear.
which I don't think I can do, to be honest.
Twist Road's already
Oh
been
my
updated
gosh.
this year, so whatever.
Come again?
Twist Road's already been updated this year.
Um, the 40 true 4 true 3 time was from last year actually. I mean 2016, which is last year technically
Oh
right
wow, I
now.
thought he just got that like a day ago.
Oh no, it's been a little while. He just uploaded a capture card test with that replay though.
Yeah,
That's
maybe
probably
that's
what
what
you're
confused
thinking
me.
of.
Oh, that's why I'm seeing it now. Yeah, okay, I hadn't seen it before.
There's Drift Highway as well. It could be a minor improvement or it could be a significant improvement, which to me is at least a second would be significant.
Yeah, especially for shorter tracks like that.
I think there's going to be a lot of improvements in F-Zero AX this year.
Oh hell yeah! I am not even going to go on about that. Like honestly, I want to try and get myself a sub 120 screwdriver before going for the record, but the closest I've come right now, like I barely got a 123 with my strat I use, and that puts me in 19th place overall on that track. Which is really good because the only other machines that are up in top 20 are was it like I think it's Aerial Whale EX, which I can't use just yet because I can't access the Aerial Bullet or the Mars EX booster.
And although Brave recently got the world record in zero gaps, there's certainly still some room for improvement by basically getting faster shift boosts on near the end of the lap.
I want PRSLS to be improved too. It's
Oh,
just
yeah,
really
that-
dirty.
I remember JKL actually mentioning he wanted to try and do that in the Discord. I
Oh, okay.
think at least.
And that
he
one's
did
just
mention
dirty.
Yeah, I want a reason to take down the video I uploaded for that because, dear Lord, is
Such
that
a-
actually a mess? It is
Such a difficult start, though.
Yeah, it's very hard to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, especially with those shift boosts he was going for. Oh yeah, side attacks. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
especially with the dives and stuff like that. Oh Lord.
I certainly think it's time for half pipe to get an improvement. Side attack certainly has its merits.
Oh,
On that
right.
course.
Sanic showed
And-
the getting that one shift boost at the first lap with side attacks on at the big dive.
Yeah,
So,
the
yeah,
the opener can certainly be improved by 2 seconds at the very least.
Yeah.
With that, I would say. So potentially sub 155 I can see,
hmm
since I know Brave's run wasn't. It was almost perfect, but I don't think it was perfect.
yeah. I know his rail slide at the end wasn't very good too.
I mean, there's always cylinder knot, but yeah, that's a
That's
really
just
tough
that's just
course.
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trident, I think.
Oh yeah, I
What
remember.
didn't CGN or wanted to improve it, or was that for snaking? I think it was for snaking.
I
I
wouldn't be
think
surprised if he wanted to update it from X Speed because that run, after rewatching it, I noticed all of the flaws. Like I thought last year during the review, I thought it was his best run, but then I realized, dear Lord, is it actually very improvable in lots of places.
Lap one especially.
I think
yeah.
Trident is always going to be improvable just because of the nature of the track.
Yeah.
Lateral shift. Just kidding.
please.
I mean,
Actually updates that. Oh, jeez.
Please. We talked about this
I
last
get a
year.
headache just trying to picture that. Like, if someone can actually pull a sub 1, oh, that's hard to even imagine at this point. Like,
that's
why?
That would be at the very limit of human ability for sure.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, I guess you could sub 1 if you just got lucky going through like the thin parts of the level. Like if CGN just didn't smack into the walls like randomly, like going through that. If you just got lucky and shot through it, like you'd be on a 1 minute pace on probably a lot of runs.
Yeah.
Yep, and currently they intentionally skip a shift boost because of boost MT. But if you go for that shift boost instead, it'll be faster. But at that point, it's probably too fast to handle.
Yeah.
And then there's Dragon Slope, of course.
I remember
That's
Aptodon saying he
doable.
could beat that one. I would honestly say that I could see Aptodon taking the record. If not Aptodon, then it would be CGN updating it. But I would be surprised to see CGN doing it.
I wouldn't count out Super Sanic either.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sanic is one
He
who
came to
is
mind first for me.
still viable as well. I mean, possible to take it.
As for what times are possible, that's still a question mark for me.
That's still up in the air at this point. It depends on
CGN's
how
run
many.
is CGN's run. I mean, it's somewhat outdated, but it's still quite a good run.
3 shift boosts on the opener and 2 on the boost laps. That's still really impressive.
Mm-hmm.
But it definitely has shown its age over time at this point. Like, with the strats we have now, I could see us taking the record this year.
Maybe I can see 143, but any lower than that would be mind-blowing to me. We already talked about Phantom Road a bit. Pretty sure Black Ball is going to be the machine for that forever. Screwdriver, of course, Sanix run wasn't perfect. Maybe sub 45 is possible. And maybe I don't know about Black Bull competing or Gallant. I highly doubt that.
Yeah, I couldn't see them competing. In all honesty, they're just too heavy. Just too heavy.
Meteor Stream, we talked about plenty. Cylinder Wave, you brought up Thunder Road, yep. Spiral, it'll take a miracle, but I mean, I guess it's possible. Well, considering that the best laps you can get is with Gallant, assuming you get the double shift boost towards the end, is perhaps on a second lap of 49 is probably feasible. So if you can get close to that crazy lap 1, then it has potential for sure. And how about snaking? Yeah, there's quite a few courses that can be improved for snaking, but I really don't know off the top of my head.
Trying to think of what could be improved in snaking. I would love, or actually, let me think. I would love to see Screwdrive updated because that has been a long time since that was set. Like, it's the second oldest record in snaking, if I remember correctly.
That seems to be the case, yep.
Oh my gosh. I still remember the video, just trying to find it. It looks like a plate of oatmeal. That's just how old it is.
Yep, it's an old game, but it's
Oh, I know, but
there's still a lot of improvement going on with it. And for such an old game, that's always awesome.
Very true.
All right, I think, man, that pretty much covers it all. Unless you guys want to talk about, your own personal gains from this year and goals for 17, feel free to do so.
Overall, my goals are just to get myself in the top 100 this year.
For max
That'll be
speed
just
or
max speed, because I haven't touched snaking at all yet. I'm waiting to figure out what I want to do with that. Though I probably am going to do space flying first, because I know more about that.
Mm-hmm. And I guess I should also bring up about my own competitions. There was one from this year, or 2016. I think it was the only one that was done for the year. It was actually a non-side attack competition where I believe I managed to win. And now there's one going on right now where you have 2 weeks, 2 set times for 5 courses, and you have 3 attempts. There's, I think, 13 or 14 players who's signed up for that and are doing runs. So that's pretty exciting. That's easily the most amount of competitors for any one of my competitions. So,
Well, I hope that we have active players as well.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, this year I compared to 2015, a lot less progress. I took a pretty lengthy break. Rip video. I guess it reached the end of the playlist. There we go. And yeah, so back in 2015, I improved by almost a minute, but this time I only saved about, I think it was 15 seconds or so. But I already made some improvements this year in twist road and undulation. As for goals, sub 41, sub Z-wing. That's all I'm focusing for now, I guess.
Nice.
As for, I really don't want to think about specific tracks. I'll just do whatever I feel like whatever's easier mainly. And yeah, oh yeah, win the competition too that I'm hosting, which
Oh,
won't
yeah.
be easy, I would imagine.
As for me, I think top 15 right now would be a good goal. I think I'm like 17 or 16 right now.
Chilledberry, right?
Sorry?
Chilledberry, right?
Yeah. I think it shouldn't be too bad. I'm planning on sub 3ing Spiral. I'm pretty close. I'm at a 303 right now.
Gallant, right? Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't use light machines.
Yeah.
Young boys.
Gallant boys? I don't know. Maybe I'll go for top 13 or 12, depending on how busy I get this year. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Nothing too fancy.
All right. I guess I want to get top 100, like Fi said. I don't think I'm that far off right now.
Hey, we're in top 100 overall.
I'm in top 100, like SRPR score. I wanted to get total time.
All
No, that's what I
right,
meant. I thought you were in top 100 total time.
No, not yet. I'm like 125 or something.
Oh.
Yeah, it's certainly a feasible goal, yeah.
Yeah,
You can do that in under a year for sure.
yeah. So I'll
Yeah.
probably set another goal when I do that.
It never
Be
ends.
top 75 or something. I don't know.
Well, for an example, I just started literally last year, so I've been playing exactly 1 year, and I think I'm ranked 38th now. So my initial goal was top 100, and then top 80, and then top 50 every track, and I'm still working on getting top 40 every track.
Wow, it's been a year for you? Damn.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I was
It doesn't
probably
seem
just
that
like,
long ago.
I mean, I was probably doing absolutely terrible for like the first 3 months or so. Like, I think I only played CPSO.
That's still one of your
actually
most
remember that.
impressive times. That's still one of your most impressive times, though. Like, seriously, just putting in that much work on one course just because you enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's a good course.
That's what
You
makes
go
us
on an
play the
oval.
game.
Everybody hates that course, actually.
Yeah.
How ironic.
I somehow still have a 47.3 somehow. And I
That's
tried a
better than
lot
mine.
good.
too.
Yeah, holy hell,
Uh,
Oval's in the top 30 for CPSO. Jeez.
Now that
I'm top 20 on ASD now. That's my first top 20.
Well, shit.
Nice.
And I do have some specific goals. Mainly learn how to MTS chain better with Gallant, learn how to shift boost better and faster. And I certainly do hope to average average in the top 10, top 10 position for all the tracks, which would be, it's going to be tough, but it's something I think I can do eventually.
Top 10 every track would be pretty amazing, actually. That'd be awesome.
That'd be damn well impressive.
On average, not on every track, on average, but still.
Oh, well, still. Yeah, definitely.
that'd still be a really good average.
Alright, I guess that's that. Unless you guys want to bring up anything else, we can end it right.
For the
I don't know. Is
Switch.
there anything arbitrary like new high speed records in max speed or something?
Does anyone look at those?
Didn't somebody
I don't know.
set? Didn't I think
I think there was someone that actually did.
FSF got the ADS speed record, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Yeah, I don't know. It's weird how speed gets calculated because sometimes it's just I don't know. It doesn't really make
I
sense.
have no idea how speed gets calculated.
Inverted
Like I
on
heard
the
it gets
lap,
kind
I
of
think.
glitchy.
It's
Yeah, TAS
so
isn't
strange.
even accurate at all. Why do they not count the speeds that go over 10K? Like, seriously.
I don't know.
Oh, in game you have to be holding A or something, right, for it to count the speed. So if you're just MTSing like crazy, you need to at least like exit it to get that speed counted.
Oh really?
I think that's the case.
Oh wow, it's weird.
I think
Does
that's
it
what
not count
E-Dragon
the
said in the
speed
forums.
if you're dead or what?
Same thing. You're not holding
Probably
A, so it can't
not.
register it.
I mean, you could be holding A while you're dead. I don't think it would make a
True.
difference, would it?
It doesn't register the input, I guess, either. So I guess it makes it impossible.
I think that actually is the case. Like when you're dead, you have no registered input. I could be wrong, but
Well, you could
Unless you're
pause.
off course.
oh yeah, that's right. Pause buffering, true. Or well, that's if you actually want that insanely high speed. Like I don't see it being anywhere helpful at all, except for the speeds.
All right, I guess we can end it right here. Thank you everybody for chiming in and adding to the
Sure.
discussion. And yeah, it's certainly an exciting year coming up for GX and F Zero in general. A shame, yeah, I do want to bring up a shame that I don't think there's going to be F Zero Central Marathon hosted this year. I was certainly prepared to travel to that this year. But yeah, there's always NASA. Oh yeah, let's talk about events for this year. There's NASA. Well, that's really it, confirmed at least right now.
Why can't the FCC thing happen?
Because that was hosted by the community. I remember, I think it was WMJ who hosted the marathon this year. I mean, last year, rather.
Yeah, I asked,
Mm-hmm.
and I think they said it's just not going to happen due to the expenses.
Yeah, it takes a lot to run that type of thing.
Hope we can get a good category into like Memathon 5 this year, like Bunny Flash 13 laps on
Oh, Lord.
PLSRS or something. That'd be good.
No.
Silver
No,
at
we're really going
0%.
Silver Rat, Max
Silver Rat.
Acceleration, blindfolded on Cosmo Terminal. We're still going to hold Moreno to that.
I did remember him saying that.
And then one last thing. F-Zero sequel for the Switch. Who's
Oh
whipping?
yeah,
Oh
I
god.
did want to bring that up about the potential for virtual console F-Zero
Hopefully, it
GX.
doesn't
Oh, yeah.
have input lag like the N64 Virtual Console did for Wii
Good
U.
Lord, that was a mess.
It's
I am
so bad.
still disgusted at how bad they did that. Like,
Like
why
it's actually
did you ruin?
terrible.
Oh my gosh. It's almost like they deliberately wanted to do that to kill off speedrunning or something. Like, I could only see that because, after all, Nintendo hasn't been the most, what is it, like the most supportive of speedrunning.
No.
Nope.
I hope they have a change of mind because we're not dying anytime soon just yet.
Nope.
Nintendo doesn't think there's a market for F-Zero, though, it seems like.
Yeah.
I
Well,
Well,
think there's
it
when
doesn't
the
change the
fans
fact
were
that they
crying, "Oh, we want another F-Zero," they made it, or not F-Zero, when they wanted another Star Fox or whatever. I mean, they made another one, and no one bought it because it sucked. So, like,
I mean, they
how do
did
you?
try and make an F-Zero on the Wii U, so
Yeah,
keep it in mind. Like, it's still possible,
it's possible.
just not very likely.
I think it's still unconfirmed whether the Switch Pro controller will have pressure sensitive triggers. If not, then hopefully there are adapters for the GameCube controllers.
Well, if Smash 4 gets a port or whatever, then
It's pretty much gonna be a
presumably you could just
requirement
plug in
that-
those two USB things for the
Yeah,
Wii U
it should be
adapter.
compatible. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if GX Virtual Console is a thing, then there might be some changes going on with F-Zero Central, but who knows? It'll depend on a bunch of
It
things
all
with the game.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Thanks for doing this, AKC, by the way.
Certainly, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Z-Wing certainly pushed for this. He was the first to bring it up, and we'll see if we can do it maybe quarterly or biannually this year.
Ooh. It sounds
It
good.
would be nice. Yeah, it'd be worth like posting just as a resource. I mean, I've watched the one from last year at least twice over the course of a year.
Oh my gosh, I can't tell you how many times I've rewatched 2015 in review. Like, oh Lord, I've rewatched that so many times. It's stupid how much I've watched it.
Oh, I don't remember
It's
that
so
one.
long, but it's just background noise. It's good.
Yep, and then and maybe some of us can write articles too every now and then, but it's still kind of tough to keep track of all the updates to the times.
Yeah.
World records it's simple, but with everything else it's not as simple. All right. Yeah. Thanks for anybody who joined, who viewed the stream, and yeah, Happy New Year and best of luck this year. Have a good night.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
Glad to
Signing
be
out.
here.
Thank you.